I am not a cat. I am attorney Drew Page, and in this video, we are going to break down Season 2, Episode 4 of Undercover Billionaire, featuring Elaine Culotti. Let's go. Meow.
They're going undercover in cities they've never been to, with only $100, a cell phone with no contacts, and an old truck. All they'll have are the business principles they use to become successful. At the end of 90 days, all three businesses will be independently evaluated.
If it's a penny short of $1 million, I'll put in $1 million.
You know the drill. Each of these entrepreneurs have 90 days to turn $100 into $1 million business with nothing but a contactless cell phone and an old pickup truck. If this is your first time watching, you can get caught up on all of my Undercover Billionaire analysis by clicking on the Undercover Billionaire playlist link below in the description. I would also appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel and like this video to help with the algorithm so that YouTube will send this video out to other people who are looking for this type of content. And if you want to really help me out, you can get a copy of my book, The Right Defense for a Traffic Offense in Virginia, by clicking on the Amazon link in the description below. So just a quick recap, Elaine Culotti has focused in on the Shepherd's Inn, and she wants to make a COVID-proof business where she establishes a deli and a grocery store where the restaurant portion of the Shepherd's Inn was, as well as improve on the rental properties that are upstairs so that she can increase the rents. At this point, she's looking for an investor. She's trying to get hooked up with Anne from the meat market so that she can become a partner and they can build this business together. So let's see what Elaine has up her sleeve for this week.
I think I'm going to be able to raise at least $10,000 by selling Russell's bar sign collection. That's going to give me enough money to paint and get the inn cleaned up. If I don't do that, it's not going to look good for Anna, who's my best potential investor, and she's going to be here in less than 2 weeks. I got to get this money in hand now.
The goal for Elaine this week is to sell Russell's signs that were put up in the bar at the Shepherd's Inn and see if she can generate approximately $10,000 in cash so that she can improve the Shepherd's Inn and get it repainted so that it looks nice for when Ann comes in a couple of weeks. So let's see how she progresses with that. Obviously, that is her primary goal. So let's see how she accomplishes that goal this week, if she does.
Today, Kelly and I are going to hit up some local antique shops, and we're going to try to sell the signs for cash. They range between $100 to $2,000, depending on which one. Negotiate with knowledge. Always know the true value of what you're selling. Research the market and be prepared with hard evidence. And when someone does lowball you, you can always walk away.
The first principle Elaine gives us this week is to negotiate with knowledge. So she's had the two young ladies that have been helping her that live at the Shepherd's Inn to research the value of each of those signs, and they've come up with approximate values within the range that Elaine gave. So the principle for you and for me is, what do I need to know before I walk into a negotiation room? Now, this is something I deal with on a regular basis as an attorney, particularly in the personal injury area of the law that I deal with. Before I walk into a negotiation, I need to know the medical bills. I need to know the lost wages. I need to know what happened with the accident. I need to basically be ready to try the case before I walk in to negotiate. Otherwise, the insurance company is going to know that I haven't done my job, and they're going to try to lowball my client. In whatever area of business you're in, you have to make sure you know your facts better than the other side does, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to get the deal that you're looking for. So let's see if Elaine is able to use that principle to help her out with this sale.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I have some neon signs I want to sell.
Okay.
This one is the least expensive one, which is a local brewery. This one is probably the most expensive one we have because it's a vintage one, a real vintage one.
Okay.
I wrote it on the back what they are showing as sold for.
These are all out of my price range. This one I'd probably pay you maybe $50 to $75 for, because I'd try to get 150. And this one I'd probably pay you 20 or 30 and try to get 60 or 50 right in there someplace.
Strike one.
How's it going? How can we help you today?
We were calling around for somebody to help us with these signs that we have.
With the price you're looking for, that's the top of the price list
Yeah.
for it. And I wouldn't be able to be there for you. I'd have to be at the very most half.
Strike two. Before you see what her response is to these two encounters, why don't you pause the video and see if you can figure out why it is she wasn't able to sell even with the negotiating information that she obtained. Welcome back. I'm sure that you paused the video so that you could take some time to think about it. Let's see what she does as a result of these two strikes.
Hey, thank you so
I'm
much.
gonna have to switch it up. The only way I'm gonna get it done here is to find a business or a collector that really wants the whole group of signs. The most important thing when you're trying to sell something is to remember who are you selling to. An antique shop, they're wholesale, and a wholesale person is going to pay less for something because they're reselling it for a profit. But if you sell to a collector, it's different. It's an emotional buy, and a collector will pay more.
Just in case you weren't sure, the reason she wasn't able to sell it is because she was trying to sell the signs to a wholesaler for retail prices. Have you ever tried to do that? You try to take a car to a dealership and you try to sell it back to them at full price, they're gonna laugh you off the lot. This comes up often in my real estate investing. I try to purchase a real estate investment property, but the owner wants me to pay a price for the house as if I'm going to be living there. I'm not looking to move my family. I'm looking to make some money. So these investors trying to sell a house to me that I'm going to use to make a profit through rent are wasting their time trying to sell it to me at retail price. I want an investor price. So that's an important principle to keep in mind. Let's keep going.
I've been trying to find a job driving heavy equipment because it pays a little bit better, and Russell hooked me up with this guy, Jason, and he said he's not just a farmer. He said he's got a lot of businesses around town. He's like a really creative guy and is somebody that I should know. Russell vouched for me, and now I've got a job. I also think it could be a big supplier for us at the grocery store.
Full gas. That's it. There you go, perfect. Perfect. Right there.
Elaine used her connection with Russell to find a better paying job, or so she thinks, at a farm running heavy machinery. She found an opportunity to be an almond shaker. I have to admit, that was pretty fun to watch. There was one time where she damaged one of the trees. Frankly, I don't think that it really adds a whole lot to the conversation, so I didn't include that part of the video, but I'm sure you can watch that at some point if you really are interested. But the key takeaway is make sure that you're leveraging your relationships in such a way that if you've proven yourself with somebody, perhaps they will be willing to vouch for you like Russell was willing to vouch for Elaine so that you can improve your employment situation. So let's keep watching.
I barely got through one row. That really sucks. I made $51 for 4 hours, and I'm pretty sure that's not even gonna take care of the gas. I had to put $40 worth of gas in my tank, which was all I could afford, and it didn't even fill it up halfway. My cash only went up $11.
This isn't a business principle per se, it's more of a life principle or a employment principle, but make sure whatever you're making at your job is more than what it takes for you to actually get there. It's like there's some jobs that require you to pay for uniforms, that require you to pay for shoes or pay for certain equipment in order for you to work there. But if you don't make as much money as you put into it, then it's a waste. I don't understand that. So she obviously did not evaluate the total employment opportunity there of what she could get done. She didn't research how much time it would take to get per tree. And since she only got through one row in 4 hours, she only made $50 and then had to put $40 in her tank. So she made $10 for spending 4 hours. That equates to about $2.50 an hour. Make sure that what you're doing is actually going to be worth your time. Time is the most important commodity that you have. And if you waste it at $2.50 an hour, or if you waste it on on $0 an hour even, or even negative because you spend money and don't make any money, that's a problem. So keep that in mind.
All successes are based on networks. So I want to develop our relationship. Who knows? Maybe he'll be a valuable resource in the future. I think that Jason is so out of the box. You know, he's all tatted up and he's got this like little hat on and it's like a little bit sideways. But I can tell that he's a business guy He's a really good entrepreneur. What's your capacity here?
So on this side, it's about 175.
The fact that the walls are completely bare at Strummers, it's probably not a big stretch to ask Jason to buy the signs.
While the job with Jason at the farm turned out to only be worth $250 an hour, the networking opportunity was huge. And she uses the leverage of that from the connection that she had gotten from Russell to get the job into a potential buying relationship with Jason. Now he may be open to purchasing the signs. And that networking opportunity turned into an opportunity to ask. And make sure that you're not afraid to ask. We've talked about that in some other videos. But once you've got that relationship secured, don't be afraid to ask. If they say no, you don't have to push the issue and be an annoying salesperson. But there's no reason for you not to make the initial ask. And that's what she's done. She's leveraged this networking opportunity to be able to put the signs on Jason, who needs them because there's nothing on the walls at his bar. So we'll see how that negotiation works out.
You got to know the difference between fist and finesse when you have to work your deal. Fist is when you plow through it like nothing else matters. Finesse is when you finagle something with a very soft, delicate hand. I mean, what would you like? Russell's your buddy.
Yeah.
Be as generous as you want because none of this money's going anywhere but back in this place.
Right. What are you thinking? How much?
I'd love to get 10 grand.
I was kind of hoping to get the friend deal.
If Jason doesn't buy the signs, I'm essentially on hold. I need the money to do the transformation of the Shepherd's Inn into $1 million business. The least I think I should take is $7,500.
I'll do that deal. And if Russell wants to buy them back from me later on down the road, I'll sell them back to him. If I could give you the $5 grand now and the rest when you deliver them or when I pick them up, is that okay?
It's totally great, yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Finally, I have some cash in hand. It's not just about the fact that I can paint and start renovations. It's about showing Russell that we were able to get something done.
The big overarching principle she gives here is fist or finesse. Basically, she is saying, are you going to play hardball or softball in your negotiation? You need to come in with a strategy. So, for example, in the law field, everybody says, oh, I want the bulldog. I want somebody who's just going to come in hard charging and trying to bring down the other side. And while that's effective in some cases, in other cases, it's better to actually play the nice guy or the nice lady or the nice whatever. Just be nice. And you can get people sometimes to see things from your perspective if you don't come at them with anger or arrogance or boldness, but instead with meekness and humility. Each case is different. That's why you can't just look something up on Google and figure out how you need to handle your legal case. You need a competent attorney who can guide you and help you each step of the way. And the same will be true in your business. You need to sometimes know that, yes, you need to be firm in your negotiations, but in other times you need to be soft and you need to be willing to listen and to hear and make sure that you get a win-win. Everything doesn't have to be a zero-sum game where there's a winner and a loser. And to that point, the next scene is a very encouraging scene. I want to talk about that, so let me show it to you real quick.
You made a good deal.
Good, excellent. Oh, thank you.
I'm happy with the deal, Russell, because I wasn't sure if you might want them back later. And with him, you can just buy them back for whatever, if you ever want to get them back.
Oh, his inflation would be ridiculous.
No, you don't want that.
I haven't really seen Russell be jovial since I met him. I think he's really the heart and soul of Shepherd's Inn. I can see Russell getting his confidence back, and this place is going to do nothing but build that further.
Wasn't that just great? One of the things that we need to remember is that when we're making money, when we're investing, we should always keep in the back of our mind somewhere that it's really all about serving people. The laugh that Russell had and the joy that Elaine felt in seeing him laugh and enjoying this experience was really heart-touching to me. I thought that it was very meaningful. You know, a lot of times we can get caught up in making money and trying to better ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's something that I try to do each and every day, not just for me, but for my wife and for my kids, and making sure that they're provided for and that their future's secure. But at the end of the day, it's not just about making money. It's about making people's lives better. And that's what we need to make sure that we keep in mind. We don't have to rely on the government to do that. We can do that. We can do our part to help people, to lift them up. Even while we're making money, we're making their lives better. As an attorney, I try to make their lives better in family law and in criminal cases and in personal injury law and in every area, trying to improve their situation and improve their outcome because it impacts their lives. And it doesn't matter whether you're selling sandwiches or selling homes, you have an opportunity to make someone's life better. So make sure that you're striving to do that. Again, I'm attorney Drew Page. You can reach me at my Suffolk, Virginia office at 757-935-9065. You can visit my website at www.randallpagelaw.com. You can email me, drewpage@randallpagelaw.com. Please subscribe to this channel and like this video to help with the algorithm. Please check out my book, The Right Defense for a Traffic Offense in Virginia, by clicking on the Amazon link below. And you can get all of your Undercover Billionaire information and analysis by clicking on the Undercover Billionaire playlist below. Until next time, stay tuned.